Well, for the first time, President Trump's company has admitted it failed to run proper status checks on its workers. The Washington Post reports the president's golf clubs, hotels, and resorts will now use E-Verify to check the immigration status of its employees.
This comes after the Post revealed around a dozen undocumented workers were fired from the president's New Jersey golf club during the government shutdown fight after working there for years. Other Trump properties are also known to employ undocumented immigrants, despite the president's hardline stance on immigration. Jonathan O'Connell is a reporter for the Washington Post who worked on that story, and he joins us now to help break down his reporting. So, Jonathan, those in charge of President Trump's company claim they didn't know there were undocumented workers employed at the president's property. Is that plausible?
That sort of depends on who you ask. The workers have acknowledged that they have submitted fake documents in order to get employment there, but some workers also said that the Trump organization itself, managers at a couple of these clubs, of the president's golf clubs, actually knew that they were undocumented the whole time, sometimes for many years, and in some cases actually helped them procure fake documents in order to work there. The Trump organization, the president's company, has denied that that is the case, that they had any hand in helping these fake documents, helping these people get fake documents, but it sort of depends on who you ask on that one.
So what advantages would there be to the Trump company to employ people who are undocumented? I mean, considering the scrutiny that having the president being at the sort of helm of the company, at least at one time, there's a tremendous amount of scrutiny about undocumented employees.
Sure. Well, I mean, there are dozens and hundreds of companies around America that rely on undocumented workers right now. I mean, if you look at hotels, golf courses, farms, etc., there are millions of Americans who are not legally allowed to work here, who are working here. And it would be, you know, we have such low unemployment in the country right now, it would be a massive work shortage if those people were not working at those companies. At the same time, it is not legal, and this is the predicament we're in terms of immigration policy in America. So for companies that choose to not use E-Verify and think, you know, and are not doing everything they can to prevent undocumented workers from working at their companies, you know, you have a certain level of probably cost savings. Maybe you have some more control over those workers. Many undocumented workers say that they're mistreated by their employers because of their status and feel they have no leverage in order to push back and no legal protection. So, you know, this is sort of, we've kind of created this class of workers in America right now that a lot of companies rely on but are also not allowed to be here.
So, Jonathan, I'm confused. Certainly, I think most Americans would understand if somebody is presented, a manager is presented with fake documents, and so I get that. But the company that is being referenced right now is called E-Verify. In 2016, the president said he was already using E-Verify on all of his employees. So help me understand that.
This is what's so striking about this story is the president on the campaign trail repeatedly said that he uses E-Verify at all of his companies and all of his properties, which is demonstrably untrue. He has said that he would support making E-Verify more mandatory across the country. Right now, there is no federal requirement that companies use it, and only about 10% of American companies use E-Verify. That has not happened, and obviously, Mr. Trump's own company has continued to not use E-Verify on a majority of its golf properties and hotel properties while he is president and while he was campaigning. So that's the issue that people have, and of course, there was a government shutdown over the issue of wall funding, which the president says was necessary because of this national emergency that regarding illegal immigration, at the same time that he has people who have immigrated here illegally working at his companies, and in many cases serving him personally. Remember, these courses, particularly in New Jersey and New York, were very close to the Trump family. You know, a lot of those workers were close to Trump family members and knew them for many years, and now a lot of them have been fired.
So on Tuesday, congressional Democrats began gathering signatures for a letter for FBI Director Christopher Wray about a probe into whether or not the president's company actually broke the law. What's the status of that at this point?
Well, at this point, it's just a request by Democrats on the Hill. So you see Senator Menendez from New Jersey, where the Bedminster course is obviously in New Jersey, and a number of other Democrats on the Hill requesting an FBI investigation. You know, what's interesting here is that obviously the president has been a huge supporter of the work that ICE does in terms of locating and in some cases apprehending people who have immigrated here illegally or who are undocumented. And in this case, there's no evidence that the president's company or family members contacted ICE about workers that were undocumented at his own company. So it's unclear right now whether the FBI will investigate, but you know, again, the people that have been fired are still in the country, like millions of other people who are undocumented, and their status is precarious right now.
Jonathan, great reporting. Thank you so much for joining us to help break it down. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.